Share, copy link. Hi Jay Govind, I'm just putting the URL up on Instagram. Hello everyone. Hello, hello. Yes. Hi, Anthony Adarsh. How are you? Let me just increase my light brightness because it looks very dull. Okay. Huh. Now it's much better. Yes. How is everyone doing? साफ चल रहा हो? Finished my work just now. Hopped onto your stream. Lol. Hi, Raik. So, what do we do today? I thought we can talk about regulations and a lot of other stuff. Max retiring or possibility. Autumn is sitting right here. Autumn, there are fans. Your fans. Where is Autumn? Autumn is right here. She's the star. Yes, Autumn. What? You're looking how neat my table is, huh? Hmm. See? See, so many people are watching you. They are your fans also. It hurts to watch Max struggle, I know. Uh, but you know what? Uh, uh, he has struggled before. It's not like this is the first time. Earlier in his career, he used to struggle a lot, and I think the guy has matured so much. And if it was any other regulation and his car was shit, I think he would have. We would have gotten some fiery, different side of him. Now, it just feels so like uh, it just feels so forced, like in the sense that he's forcing himself to race. So yeah, it is difficult to watch. Okay, she has decided that this is the place where is the is there a possibility of Red Bull comeback in 2026? I don't think so. So I made a lot of like I'm just learning about some hints about what is happening to um like what is the problem with the car, right? So basically, the weight distribution is the problem with the car. That's my conclusion after reading some things. Basically, um, basically to fix Max's car or Red Bull, they need to rebuild the chassis, they need to rebuild quite a lot of things, which I think is going to be extremely difficult. And I don't think their engine is the problem. It's not the power output, it's the weight distribution. So which means they have to design a different kind of chassis so that the engine and the gearbox and all of that moves slightly differently. Right now, his car is very front heavy. That's why has a lot of understeer. That's why people are like he is struggling to turn the car. He feels like the power steering, like his car does not have power steering types, right? All of that is because he's like the car changing the car's direction is becoming extremely difficult. But um, yeah, I think fundamentally they need to rework on the whole um, car, or else uh, it's just like, yeah, you can't. 1 month is not enough to fix that. Let's put it that way, right? Because um, uh, with this feedback now, they have to redesign, and like they can't put a driver in to check, right? They have to put in a different kind of testing done in the factory. I think after the summer break, maybe we can see a new car coming from Red Bull, and second half of the season might be a little better. But right now, I don't think that they are going to have any improvement for a long time. Their PU in on ADO. See, I know. See, that's a political thing that they are playing, right? Like sometimes you don't show your full power just so that you can improve your car. Like this ADUO rule has not always been there. This is the first time that rule is there, right? So there will be political things that they do so that they can they don't show their full power so that they get the opportunity to work on the engine during the break. That's all there, but I don't think PU was ever the problem with Red Bull. Even during the Barcelona shakedown and the preseason testing. Um, but yeah, is Ferrari favoring Charles over Lewis? I don't think so, my friend. I don't think you can bring in I don't think you can bring in a seven-time world champion and put him as the second driver, right? Like I don't think Ferrari will ever do that. It's just that Charles Leclerc is a Ferrari prodigy in a way, right? Like because he is their project. So he will understand the team better. He will understand nuances better. He will do things better than Lewis. Lewis is brand new. So I think eventually that whole aspect of Charles Leclerc getting any preferential treatment over Hamilton, I don't think it's going to happen. It will be pure racing after that. See you, Autumn. See, come sit here. Yes, good girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kudos to Max and Hadjar for not crashing in the face. I am actually surprised more teams aren't crashing. The only thing that I am genuinely like, see, I won't say more teams aren't crashing. Max crashed in qualifying Australia. Oscar crashed before the start of the race. To this regulations, or at least the tech side of things, aren't fully sorted out. Okay, it's half baked, I feel. So it is very difficult and different for all of these drivers to cope up with the massive change. Um, as an audience, it's good to watch these regulations, but feeling sad for the drivers and constructors. See, good to watch also is with a caveat, right? Like if it is a normal um, um, uh, if it is a normal F1 watcher, as in like if he is brand new or he doesn't know a lot about competitive racing and stuff like that. If they are not invested in racing, right, you will think, oh, they are doing back and forth, they are doing fighting, all of that. Um, but the hardcore racers who know the sport will probably look at it and think that it's not as good, it's not enjoyable to watch, because they've been watching for so long. They also need time to adapt to the new way of doing things, right? Just like drivers, viewers also need, like, especially the hardcore ones. I guess Charles and Lewis is going to get intense after April. Yes, 100%. I think it's already intense. They've just not touched each other, but they are going wheel to wheel, so it is fun. Missing Horner in the paddock, Mr. Christian Horney will forever be missed. Yeah, so he would have caused so much noise. That's the thing, right? At this point, if Christian Horner was the team principal, he would have taken Max's side and he would have made so much noise about the regulations. He would have said some, like, he would have set the whole discussion on fire, because for him the investment in Max was a big deal. He was the one who invested in Max, right? Like he got him into the team and all of that, so he would have had Max's back anytime he went and said all of these things, right? But Lauren is, I'm happy that Laurent is not like Christian Horner. He's a lot more mature as an individual, unlike the very villain type of a persona. But even then, I feel like, yes, Christian would have made the whole regulations discussions a lot more interesting among the team principals. Oscar Piastri fights with Mercedes for World Drivers' Championship. Yeah, it might happen maybe much later. Like, let us say, uh, I don't see any reason why Toto Wolff has to um, um, decide to let one of their two drivers go, right? Both of them are doing good, unless there is like a falling out. Uh, like, yeah, I don't think anybody else is getting a Mercedes seat anytime soon. Mm. Jay Govan Drivers' Championship predictions, it's still George Russell only. Alpine understood the regulations pretty well. I think they have the power unit advantage um, uh, with Mercedes customer team, and their chassis is also really good, because the only Mercedes power unit team that is struggling is Williams, and we know that their issue is the weight, right? So I think these guys, Alpine, have nailed the regulations. They have a decent engine, so they are doing good. I don't see any reason why. Like, see, in the end of the day, the power unit is killer, right? So, yeah. Mm. Can Red Bull catch up in this 1 month gap? No, I don't think so, my friend. Like, see, imagine Japan, they were the one team that brought the most upgrades and they were nowhere, right? Their car is fundamentally off balance. So in the 1 month gap, I will be surprised, because see, in the same 1 month gap, Red Bull also will be trying to, sorry, not Red Bull, Mercedes also will be, like, they won't be sitting idle, right? They'll also be doing whatever they can to improve and all of that. So I think definitely the 1 month will not be enough for Red Bull to make any major changes or updates, uh, at least to an extent where they can challenge for the podiums and stuff. Yeah. Can we expect upgrade? I think all 11 teams will bring an upgrade in Miami. That's a guaranteed thing. I'm telling you, all 11 teams are going to bring an upgrade in Miami. If you don't bring an upgrade in Miami, you're bringing it in the race immediately after that, because there is no reason why you should not. Like, let me just double check what is the next race after Miami. Uh, Season 2026. After Miami, we what? Yeah, we have Canada, right? If not Miami, they are bringing it in Canada. Okay, so I don't see any reason why any team will avoid bringing upgrade, because see, like, it's a matter of pride also, no, right? Everybody will ask, everybody will like, oh, they had 1 month and they still couldn't make any changes in the car. Okay, they'll say no. So I think people definitely they'll rush for an upgrade, 100%. Audi power unit looks good. Anthony Adarsh, yes. I think for a one first time company doing their own power unit, they've actually done phenomenally well. And they have two midfieldish drivers. I know Bortoleto is good. Hulk is kind of old, and he's like, he's I don't know. I don't want to put him down, but I think like they don't have the star drivers, right? Like they have a rookie and a veteran, basically. So I think that team, Audi team as a team, they are underrated, extremely underrated, and the fact that they are consistently, like, in Q2 and sometimes in Q3 also, for a brand new team, uh, that is like amazing. Yeah. Um, Riker, I mean, RBR can focus on the 27 car, but the case will will there be Max to drive? Yes, you are actually right, right? They can start focusing on the 27 car already, because it's like, how many of you know the word sunk cost fallacy, right? The sunk cost fallacy is this. Okay, let us say uh, you are studying engineering. Okay, you are studying engineering and you are in your first year of engineering, and somebody, told you engineering is the best subject, it has a lot of this thing, like, opportunities, and so you got all excited and you went to study engineering, and in the first year you realized that engineering is not your subject at all, you hate engineering. Okay, now you can drop out and find another uh, uh, course to do, or something else that you like to do, or you can think, oh, my mom and dad have paid the fees for all 4 years, or there is so much money I've already invested, I've already finished 1 year, why don't I finish the whole thing? Now if you finish all 4 years, you're basically wasting 3 more years doing a subject that you don't like anyway, right? That's called the sunk cost fallacy, right? Thinking that, oh, I have already invested so much in this, so I will try to invest a little more to see what else can I, even though you know the outcome is not going to be there, right? That's the issue with Red Bull right now, right? They've got out a bad car. Now you can scrap this and start working on the next year's car, or you can keep trying your best to make the best out of the current car, which is basically useless, because you can probably make the current car a little better, but next year car will still be shit, right? It'll be little better. Instead, you should focus on the next year car now itself. So yeah, I don't know what they are planning to do. Max, will he be there? That's a very, very good question. Max is already planning his May Nürburgring debut and not debut, as in like his 24-hour race thing. He's also planning to get other people like Alonso. Also, he's trying to get him hyped up about other racing series as well. I saw an interview, and yeah, uh, uh, different things are happening in Max's life. He's a dad now, and I, right. I don't know if he will find it in him to stay in F1 as much as is. Nishant Kanan, yes, Max is having dinner with the CEO. F1 needs Max. I know, I heard about. Let's see. Let's Google and find out if there were any updates. F1 Max to have dinner with F1 boss Stefano Domenicali as he ponders retirement. One of highest profile is not in off the record. His champ is passing a similar message to the dust media. The lengthy break between Japan and Miami will be critical period. Uh, okay, there is no specific update on the dinner yet. Let me look at the news article and let me look at it from a past 24 hours. It's a legend of auto sports. Yeah, continue reading. I don't drive a car. Interestingly, okay, where is Max is on whether F1 will stay at 24 hours. I go back to what I said before. It's a matter of quality. We of course can have logistics constraints. You can say that we can go ahead. Whether finally on driving Max has called a joke. Well, if you look at okay, this is what he has said. Okay, well, if you look at the first, actually, you know what? Let me share screen. Do you guys see this? Let me zoom in a bit more. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you look at the first two races, we received a 99% of viewers saying, "Wow, how amazing were these races? Where did they get this stat?" Had a lot of voting people, and the main factor of course, always it's normal to have negative feedback. That has always been the case with this step and change. Max expresses his opinion, which we need to respect, but we take on board the positivity of the fact that he wants to be one and wants to make sure that his take we will and on speculation he wanted to shorten races. So this is not the latest one. This is 1 week ago. What the heck? I thought this was past 24 hours. Okay, there are Max dinner with Stefano. Okay, looks like okay to have dinner. This I already Dominica to the rescue steps in to persuade him. Let's look at these two articles. Let's see what happens. Okay, Verstappen, the rumors reported well-known Dutch outline reportedly seriously considering leaving at the end of 2026. Okay, not a final decision, but concrete possibility. Okay, here is the F1 setup. In this behind-the-scenes story emerges that confirms how seriously matter is taking, and according to a direct meeting was reportedly organized between, okay, not a formal meeting but a private dinner, a format that suggests a desire to establish a more direct dialogue away from institutional rigidities, a face-to-face encounter. The question is, will Domenicali's diplomatic work be enough to consist? How much will they? So they are also not reporting after what has happened. They are reporting before. Are you hearing the background noise by any chance? If you are, can you tell me? I'll ask and to drop the volume. As Dominica tries to persuade him with a dinner invitation. Close to it. A journalist reported that this is a formal meeting. The goal is to convince. I don't think there is any update shared on any update shared on uh, this. It's just that we just know that there was a dinner, but nothing else has been said. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Verus 30. Tirus. I don't know how to pronounce. Anna, do you have a video on why Merc is faster than McLaren, even though they have the same engine? I've heard about chassis, but I don't know what it is. Please don't judge me. I just got into. I don't think I have made a video on why exactly that the cars are like different, even though they have the same power unit. But you saw, no, Japan, Oscar Piastri led the race and did not see. The only reason Kimi overtook him was because of the safety car, right? George tried to overtake, but he also couldn't overtake Piastri in the race pace as well. So McLaren also have caught up to them. But like I said, right? Mercedes only give the engine, right? In the end of the day, gearbox design, your transmission, not transition, transmission, which is, how the gears are connected to the wheels through the transmission rod and like all of that. Um, yeah, all of that has to be designed by McLaren themselves. So it will be difficult to exactly replicate Mercedes kind of style of car, right? So difficult. That's why I don't think McLaren or Williams or Alpine will ever be as fast as Merc. But given some time, like last year when McLaren was faster than Mercedes, even though they had the Mercedes engine, that has all to do with the downforce and the ground effect era, right? So, yeah. Honestly, I thought Aston Martin would be serious competitors during preseason, but it was a complete letdown. Preseason only, I knew that they are not going to be a competition because they were horrible, man. Like, um, before preseason, I was hoping for like Newey to do some interesting stuff and all, but yeah, Audi's motorsports history, it's itself dominance, and so it's known that they'll do good. Yeah, Audi have been a rally favorite, if I'm not wrong. Audi Quattroporte, right? Quattro Quattro, yes, that's the uh, that's the car that dominated rallying for a long time. I don't think Audi are any strangers to racing. They are legends. Do you think Alonso will retire this? And yes, yes, he is retiring. It is pretty much it's an unspoken thing, but everyone and their mom and dad knows that Alonso is going to retire because he told like this will be the last season if they don't have a competitive car. He is getting old, so I don't think it's much. There is not much to think here. It is a granted thing. Mm. Cyril Matthew Emmanuel. Yes, I saw a news that FIA approved Ferrari the engine upgrade after Canada or something, but it was supposed to be after 6 races. Can you explain this clearly? Which others have to be? I don't know if FIA have approved. Let's look at this rumor. No, F1 Ferrari secures. Let's read this together. No, so this was reported by on the 31st of March, which is what today only. No, yeah. Ferrari has secured FIA approval to introduce its new engine upgrade through a screen. Yeah, is on the offensive. Has already received, right. This system allows considerable. Okay, Ferrari with fits in a 20 deficit of about 25 horsepower, and it is going to introduce the following in Miami GP. Why am I only saying? Let's look at FIA. Uh, okay. Mhm. I don't think here we will get to see. So this is, I think, some. How many other teams are reporting on this? I want to know because is it uh, news? Okay, this is also Ferrari gains green light 2 hours ago. I think it's a very brand new news that is out. So if Ferrari is getting this, I think chances are Red Bull will also get this. Has reportedly secured approval from FIA to introduce. From Canada, see the thing is, let's look at the season, right? We were supposed to have two here, right, which was Bahrain and Saudi, right? Both of them and Miami would be 6 races, right? So technically, Canada was when you were supposed to introduce the AUDO ka first upgrade. I'm guessing because 2 races are already not there, they would wait for Miami and then they can introduce the upgrade in Canada. That is my assumption, but looks like it is being reported on multiple. These are all old, recent, past 24 hours. Hmm. What is this? Russell tells Hamilton to shut up. Playfully to complain. I mean, all of these headlines, man. Hmm. Okay. It is what it is. Hmm. John Wick, hi. Hi, John Wick. So the music, no, I didn't see the volume is extremely low, but I'm still like surprised that you found the volume. So I'll drop it even more the next time. I usually do these mixing the volumes well only, but if you found it distracting, then I'll drop it even more. How are you, bro? Or a request and suggestion, Cholalama. Yes, please, Vigneshwaran. Yes. Uh, so you anonymously, so you anonymously declare Max has decided to retire F1. See, Max is a man of his word in a weird way, right? He just says what he means. So if you know Max, and if he says stuff like this, it is serious. So yeah, what happened to Lewis's car in Japanese GP? There was an issue, power deployment issue in the battery side of things, and that's why he started slowing down. He had a problem. We gotta respect whatever Max is gonna decide, but I'm happy if he retains or shifts to full time endurance, especially copying him to win the Triple Crown, breaking the late Graham Hill's record. Yeah, I think he's still like he has chances. I want to know which Ferrari car is better, Charles or Lewis one. They are both the same. I think I don't think Ferrari have brought their Spec A car still. I think they are still hiding a lot of innovations. I think uh, the cars, at least between the two drivers, they are the same. I think. If Max retires, F1 will lose one of its precious chains, but people will forget that eventually. Yes, similar thing happened with Michael Schumacher as well. A lot of like Daniel Ricciardo, right? When he left, yes, we were all sad, but only the hardcore fans still think and talk about him, right? And yeah, eventually people will forget. Like the sport is bigger than its drivers, always. It's the same with Lewis as well. He will be remembered as like somebody who is great and all, but on a weekend to weekend basis, we will have like 20 to 22 drivers on the grid who in all in their own way really good drivers. So yeah. Yeah. Now predict your World Drivers Championship top three. I think it'll be Russell, Kimi, Leclerc. Is there a change of new regulations early by any chance? I think Miami there will be an upgrade. There will be an update to the new regulations. I think the battery powers ka top, like I think the 9 megajoules will be reduced to 6 or 6.5. I feel. Um, uh, and the cars will be significantly slower compared to the beginning half of the season, beginning first three races, but it'll be better racing because they don't have to super clip to charge, because the top uh, like there'll be a limit on how much you can charge anyways, right? You don't at the end of the track, you don't have to like force yourself to super clip 6 or 6.5 megajoules. I think will drop down to not new car mid-season, right? Like, see, in the end of the day, it's a battery thing. I think FIA will give more lenient allowances to the batteries. If you change the rule mid-season, they'll also have to change um, the usage of, like, they'll let the teams introduce one more, like use one more battery if needed, or some things like that, right? I don't think you like a rule change will force them to rework on their car from the start. I don't think that's going to happen. What is happening with Norris's car battery, Pro? I think it was just a software issue that software and a battery issue. It wasn't fully mentioned. Like, I'll tell you, let's. I forgot about it. No, what was the previous race before Japan? It was China, right? Yeah, he missed. It couldn't be fixed on time, and it didn't come out on time that was for Piastri. Norris, I think, um, we don't know fully at this point, but obviously disappointing. I don't think publicly they announced the reason, but it was a battery related reason. Yeah. Thought about Norris and Verstappen fans coming together who were rivals 3 months ago. That is actually really funny. I don't think they are back together because I won't say the content creator's name. I have a content creator friend who's a Norris fan, and I don't think he has given me any sympathy as a Max fan. Uh, we don't hate each other, but I'm just saying, like, it's not like they've suddenly gotten together or anything. They are still rivals only. Hi, Hariharan, how are you? Uh, so, what's your thoughts about Miami? Will Ferrari get good upgrade? They better get uh, good upgrade. Yes, even Seb is forgotten. Yeah, you are right. Uh, Only I seem to remember, and you. Yes, Vigneshwaran. Yes. But in Tamil, there are few more over there. Is no one like you to explain things easily and more informative. Is this about continuing to post or speak in Tamil on my longer YouTube videos? See, listen, I'm going to say something controversial. You may or may not like it. Okay. Um, I started something because I wanted to be different. So I started the Formula Tamilan page um, because nobody was doing it. Uh, but in general, Formula One is a very heavy English specific sport in the sense that um, to explain a lot of technical things, it's better to explain in English because engineering and all of that, you've studied English, all of that. So I always felt comfortable with English. Okay, but I made a big effort to make sure that my content was uh, in Tamil, and I also genuinely did not uh, plan to grow big or anything. I told before to a lot of people, I think you may have heard this as well, which is I wanted to reach 5,000 followers by the end of last season. That was my goal. I didn't expect to be like, big and uh, like suddenly it blew up because a lot of people understood and got onto the sport. Right now, think about this. Right, I have two kinds of content that I need to create. For people who are new to the sport, I have to explain things, and then there are people who are already fans of the sport and probably know a lot more than your average Formula One fan, and sometimes they might even know more than me, right? In that case, Tamil becomes a little difficult for me, especially considering how the whole content creator ecosystem is built. Right, the reason I stayed away from YouTube was because YouTube didn't help me in any way. I was doing all of it on Instagram. I've like, recently till fan code approached me, I have never done a single brand deal or a collab reel, and you may have seen how many reels that I put last year. Right, that means 4 hours of work. Every reel takes 3 to 4 hours to make. Okay, the later reels, like in the last few months, it became a 2 hour thing, which is I record, I edit, and it takes broadly 2 hours or so. But that is a lot of effort and hard work, right? And if I am going to be speaking only Tamil, I've already been restricted in so many aspects on Instagram, right? A lot of brands don't work with me because I speak Tamil. I have spoken to a bunch of brands, and they've specifically told me, oh, I mean, I wish you did content in English. There are a lot of content creators who've come up and told to me, like, oh, dude, like, you should make in English. If you want to survive in this ecosystem, your content needs to be in English, right? But I still chose to stick to Tamil on Instagram because that was the uh, that was the whole like, whole reason I started out of passion to speak about Formula One. Right now, if I am going to make longer form content, that is going to double or triple my work in terms of shooting and editing, and all of this is, I have a day job, my friends. I work 6 days a week. I go to office at 9:30 in the morning, and then I come back home at 8:30 or 9. When do you think, if I do that from Monday to Saturday, when do you think I get time to record and edit? I'll tell you, I wake up at 6 a.m. My wife is right there. She knows I wake up at 6 a.m. and I freshen up, I do all my morning things, and by 8 a.m. I record, and by 9:30 I try to edit and take the edit to office, so that whenever I get free time in office, continue to edit, and then I post in the evening. Right, I came back at work from work, I had dinner, and I've come back to live. Right, that is how hectic my time is. And if in general I want to grow my audience specifically on YouTube, I need to at least prioritize one channel, one stream of content that is not just for one language group, but is broadly more approachable for um, multiple languages, right? Like, I know I put subtitles for all my reels in Tamil, but trust me, my analytics shows 95 to 98 percentage of my viewers are from Tamil Nadu. Right, even though I put subtitles, I barely have any viewers from the rest of India. Right, so I also want to grow outside of the Tamil niche, and I will back it up with data. Last one full year, every reel I put up on Instagram, I put it on YouTube, and it did nothing. 1k views, 1.5k views max. Very rarely one reel or two reels will go to 3k, 2k. Everything that goes viral on Instagram does not go anywhere on YouTube. So YouTube was never a priority. Even now, my channel is not monetized. I would love it if it gets monetized, but if I post in Tamil, no, I don't think I can afford to spend so much time in editing and doing all of this only to get 200 or 300 views. When I post content in English, I have checked the analytics for the last couple of videos. I get to like, I'm getting views from multiple geographies, not just from Tamil, and that helps me because I'm not going to stop posting Tamil content on shorts and reels, right? It's just the long form content. If I'm going to record for an hour and then spend 5 hours editing myself, like, I am not even making money to hire editors and do all of this, right? So I genuinely had to think really hard about, like, um, whether I want to do it in Tamil or English, and I made a choice, conscious thought after a lot of deliberation. Because if you think about it, I only started it in Japan. I missed out China and Australia because I was so confused whether to do it or not, whether I can cope up. But then I also am ambitious, right? I don't want to be like this guy who only talks Tamil stuff. I also want to be known in the ecosystem in a much better way, bigger way. What is the next best big step for me as a content creator, right? So I can say all of this. You may agree to it, you might not agree to it, but that is the reason I started creating content long form in English, and I will stand by that decision because I really feel like last one full year I tried to do Tamil content on YouTube and it just didn't work. Yeah. Sorry, I went on like this big explanation. Sorry, my friends. Uh, about Ollie's crash, I have made a reel, and I have also made proper like my analysis of Ollie's crash on that reel. Not just on that reel, in my yesterday's video as well. That's like proper. I've spoken about why it happened, and um, the danger that was uh, like, he barely managed to walk out with just a leg injury and no fractures. So yeah. uh, Of course, the sport is bigger, and the problem is the reason for the exit. Yes. Um, what are your thoughts on Charles' radio messages whenever he gets behind Lewis, like two he timings and holding a lot more than expected? Yes. So both complaints are valid. The previous complaint, I don't think it was a complaint. They just battled together, and in China, Lewis was the better driver. It was purely a pace battle, right? And in Japan, I think genuinely he had a better chance because Lewis had an injury issue, right? His power wasn't full, and that's the reason why he, yeah, that's the reason why he couldn't, hold on to that position, and Charles Leclerc kept asking. I don't think, uh, yeah, yeah. uh, Anna, even if you make video in Tamil, please don't remove the subtitles. I don't I will never, I will never remove the subtitles. But you know what is even more difficult for a Tamil creator? I'm telling you. I'll show you guys live, okay, how shitty this whole content creator ecosystem is for Tamil creators, okay. Um, I don't think I can show this on screen, but in the app now, because I speak Tamil, right, this auto caption thing will use Tamil language to translate, okay, not the English script. So it is horrible. Like, so I will use the auto caption, and then I will spend another 15 minutes converting the Tamil translation to English, right? So my English subtitles are not auto generated. I have manually typed it. So yeah, that is also there. Watching this game because of you, Siddharth Ravi. Thank you, my friend. We need more long videos. I have 3 more long videos that I will put, like one day after tomorrow. I will put. Tomorrow I am making a reel. One I am putting on. I will not spoil the titles, but yeah, I am planning to do a lot more videos. Um, Frederick Wester's new statement on the championship. What was the statement? Sir, I learned a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm hoping you're having fun watching Bharat Harikumar. Yes. Yes. Uh, Yes. Vigneshwar, and thanks for the response. I clearly understand what you're saying. I'm sorry to really doing. You're really doing good. That is absolutely fine, right? Don't say sorry, right? As somebody who's watching my content, you have every right to share opinions, criticize if I'm saying something wrong. All of that is absolutely fine, right? Like, don't say sorry at all, right? I absolutely appreciate that you are, like, you took it to an extent where you felt like I have to share this to Anderson, because, like, I need to share this. So that speaks so much about your uh, care for my channel, right? So I won't take it bad or anything. Okay, so shit, I think all my RGB lights are slowly dying off because they are not on charge. Yeah, one by one they're all dying. That's okay. It's fine today. It's fine. Um, uh, FI approved. So allegedly, some people have reported that the approval is done. I have to, like, get it from an even more official source. There are some sources that I really find accurate. Once they start reporting, I'll confirm. But looks like yes, FIA seem to have approved that. And is there a chance you might cover other races? See, I once I see a lot more. Uh, once I see a lot more GT races and Le Mans, I probably will like do videos. But see, I am not an expert in those categories yet. That's why I might not immediately do videos on them. I might do some small videos, but once I watch a bit more, I will definitely, yeah. can you explain what super clipping as a concept is? Okay. Let me share screen. Let me explain properly. Uh, have you heard of this? Okay. It is called Fleming's left hand and right hand rules. Okay. So basically, uh, there are there are how do I say Fleming's left hand rule and Fleming's right hand rule uh, are the basis of magnetism and electricity. Okay, um, it is like, if you hold your hand in a certain way, right, you're pointing basically three axes, x axis, y axis, and z axis, right? Basically this and your hands are mirror images of each other, right? I'll show it to the camera. Your hands are basically mirror images to each other, right? Because of that, when you do when in a direction of magnetic field there is movement in a particular direction, electricity gets generated in another direction. So there is a rule called Fleming's left hand rule, and then there is one called right hand rule. Basically, movement generates electricity, and electricity generates movement too, right? It is vice versa. So when a motor is given electricity, it starts spinning. When the electricity is stopped and the motor continues to spin, it generates electricity. What that means is a single unit like MGUK, right? It can act as a motor or a generator depending on whether it is given current or whether it is harvesting current, right? Basically, that's what it is. When the battery is full, the MGUK is going to push the power and give extra energy to the tires so that it gives a little more movement, basically, right? Speed. Ulta is when the car is slowing down during braking or anything, the motor becomes a generator. It is taking the movement from the tires and then bringing it back as a generator and then charging the battery, right? So basically, you know, in your bicycle tires you have this dynamo kind of a light, right, in your bicycles, right? So it'll have like this small thing that is attached to the back wheel, and when we spin the back wheel, it kind of charges up, right? So the movement is converted into electricity, and instead of a bulb, right, in the front, instead of a light, imagine that there is a battery that is getting charged. That's how it works, right? So this is called clipping. Basically, movement is converted into electricity, right? Movement can be during braking or during lift and coast. Lift and coast is basically you're not braking, but you have taken both your legs off the pedal, right? You have not put on the clutch also. Remember, like in the bike, if you're driving a bike, right? If you pull the clutch, your bike will go forward, but if you release the clutch, you will have like this jerk, and then you will kind of like, slow down. It's called engine braking, basically. That is called clipping. Super clipping is when you are going full speed and your pedal is pressed to the floor and you are supposed to be on the top gear and you're driving at the maximum speed possible, but instead of all of the energy going to the tires, some of the fuel energy is going to recharge the battery through the MGUK. Instead of MGUK completely deploying, it is become a generator and it is charging the battery. So that is called super clipping. Okay, I hope that was easy for you to understand. Firoz Fleming mentioned. Yes. Yeah, is there any chance you might cover? Okay, that I've already responded. May we know your native? My hometown is Tirunelveli, a place called Palayam Kottai in Tirunelveli. பிறந்து வளர்ந்ததெல்லாம் அங்கே தான். ஸ்கூல் படித்ததும் அங்கே தான். I then went to do my undergrad in NIT Trichy, and then I settled in Hyderabad. I On my first week, I met a girl in Hyderabad, and we fell in love, and we've been together for 14 years. No, not 14 years. Uh, 11 years now, and I'm married to that same girl I met on the first week in Hyderabad. So yeah, she's sitting over there and watching TV. Yes. I started mentioning Fleming's right hand rule and left hand rule, and suddenly my viewers dropped. Frederick Wesser said, "We know that starting Miami, it will probably be a different championship." I think he's just talking about the AU, DO, and the other upgrades that he is bringing in. I think that's why it will be a different championship. I think he's saying. Ferrari is going to finish P1 and P2 in Monaco. Yes, if that happens, that will be the best thing. Hamilton has better odds for winning his first Grand Prix at Silverstone. I think Russell will win Silverstone this time. British driver winning will be like epic. After Ferrari engine upgrade, there are chances for Lewis winning championships. No, see, I think we need to be realistic a little bit. I don't think Lewis is winning any championships again. I know it's a heartbreaking thing to hear, but he might win a few races, but I don't think he's winning championships. Not at least till like he has a talented teammate like Leclerc. Yeah. Sundar KP, please explain overtaking rules. I don't know when and why they open wings. You nothing to do with overtaking wings opening. Now, in the straight mode, whenever there is a straight, they can open the wings. Whenever there is a corner, they will close the wings. That has nothing to do with overtaking rules at all. That is all over last year. Yeah. Are you still in Hyderabad, Anna? Yes. Yes. Bro, what course did you do at NIT? I did a course called Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. That's why I know so much about materials, carbon fiber, and engineering in general, because thermodynamics and all was like a big subject. I don't remember a single thing, but yeah. Hi Nilan CFC. Hi. MRKYTYP5JF. That looks like that sounds like a McLaren car model. Hi bro. Big change in the setup of the cars. I don't think chassis changes will be difficult, but like parts changes will always happen. Like some aerodynamic changes will keep happening, but I don't see I don't see a reason why big changes will happen, because 1 month is not enough for big changes. Uh, Maybe if they have been working from Australia time, they have been working on something, then it might work out, but I don't think it is happening. Is there a way this new regulations could be changed or modified? Uh, I am not sure. The electrical power upper limit will be reduced. I feel right now it is 9 megajoules during the race, right? I think they might reduce it to 6, 7. I am not supposed to say that number. Yeah. So yeah, they might drop the overall thing. That's the only change that I expect in the regulation, because any other change is not easy to implement, because you're essentially asking the teams to make a brand new engine, brand new chassis, things like that. So I don't expect it to be that big a change, but there will be some small change. Yeah. Bro, can you share your Vettel fanboy moments? I think 2020, 2012, Brazil was like one of my fondest memories of him spinning in the first lap, and then going back to defeat Alonso. Yeah, that was amazing. You're always Mercedes. Does Max going to race in NLS qualifiers on April 19th? Yes, I think so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's there. I think qualifiers, you need to be there, right, before you can. Uh, or is Max already going directly to the race in May? I only thought is there in May. I'm not sure about the 19th thing. Is Max struggling with battery power management? Like, I had this doubt when Max was behind Gasly almost the entire race. See, battery is one thing, power unit is one thing. They are not as good as Mercedes anyway, Mercedes engine anyway. But Max's issue was not just the power unit. His car itself wasn't making him feel comfortable in racing. He did not have pace. His steering was too heavy for him to get good corners and all of that. So he was struggling a lot. Yeah. Really enjoy the way your videos are coming out. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Arey, don't say six. uh, what do you think about Cadillac? Do they get podium in this season? Podium, I don't think so happening at all. I think Audi will get a podium if possible, I think. But Cadillac getting a podium is like not happening. Does Max retire before Alonso and Lewis? I think Alonso and Max will retire together next year, and Lewis will be there for another year or so, I think. Leclerc might win. See, I don't know. I don't know. It's heartbreaking to see him not win the world championship, but I think he will be with uh, Ferrari till 2028, I think. And if their cars don't give a lot of hope, I think he will change teams. Will there be any tomato rule? I don't think so. I don't think so. I like Fred Vasseur. They are Ferrari are not McLaren, so there will be no papaya, tomato, and all of that. Aston also, I don't think they will be any better. Um, See, Honda as a company will take time to fix things. It will take years for Honda to fix, because remember the previous GP3 engine, GP2 engine, GP2 engine scenario, from where to where, how long it took to 2016, 17, 18, 19. and then Honda came back to Red Bull and they've had a decent engine, right? So it will take a long time for them to get back to being competitive in Aston Martin. So yeah, Shivanish S3806. Are you born on the 3rd August 2006? And is your ATM pin 3806? Hi Anna, your top 5 drivers. Um, Personal preference or in general, like top best drivers? Avinash R9914. Are you born on the 9th September 2014? That makes you what, 13 years old, 12 years old? Shit. How would you make a non F1 fan watch F1 with new complex regulations? Don't explain the regulations to them. They just watch, let them watch for the overtakes, and uh, they'll eventually figure it out. See you next stream, Rainmaster 33. Yes, let's go. Okay, that is not your birthday. Okay. Is there any chance in the near future for F1 to come back to India, both the international circuit? Wait a few more days, my friend. I'm making a video on it. Both personal and top best. See, personal is basically Vettel, um, followed by Max, followed by Lewis, followed by Alonso, and I don't think I have anybody else in my top 5. Like the rest of the crew, I think that's it. Overall, like, see, I know this is gonna sound very the thing is, no, I did not watch a single race of Ayrton Senna. Okay, Ayrton Senna's whole thing I've only known from the documentaries and the fact that he's liked by so many people. I know it because of that. So I do think Ayrton Senna will be one of the goats. Second, similar category, Michael Schumacher, because I didn't watch him. I watched a lot about him later on, right? So Michael Schumacher is one. Um, I think Mika Häkkinen, that's another person that I've only watched much later because he was Michael's like big arch nemesis kind of, right? So that I think. Then I will put Vettel and Max Verstappen as well, and Lewis also I'll put in the top 5. So yeah. It, like I said, watch along for race weekends. I would love to come down to Chennai someday to host an event and watch along in person, and that would be a lot more fun, I feel. Mohammed Arshad, I don't know why some people blindly blaming on Kuala Pinto despite he has nothing to do with the crash. Yeah, Kuala Pinto had nothing to do with the crash, but he did defend. He did. I mean, he didn't do illegal defense. He did defend, but yeah, it was not his fault at all. Even Avinash also has. I think everybody is like. I think Instagram just, sorry, not Instagram. YouTube just gives 4-digit numbers to everyone. I think at the end. Why is he spamming with stories? See, Lewis is Lewis, man. I think he has his mood swings. One day he's like having super fun in the sport, and the next day he's like struggling. So we just have to uh, take that with a pinch of salt. Your peak F1 era, Vettel era, real Weltmeister. Yes, Du bist Weltmeister. Yes, that was the era when everything was peak. What do you think about the Max 20? That was the best recently, that season, and 2025 towards the end of the season was the most exciting end to the season, I think. Because even when I was watching Vettel, right, uh, I I was slowly becoming a Vettel fan. Okay, so I wasn't like invested. I watched him, right. Later in life, you are invested in like proper, like. What I've by that time I've watched 11 years of racing, right? So then, yeah, you are a lot more knowledgeable about the sport as well. So 2021, I think, was the best two driver title fight that I've witnessed in a long time. Yeah, and I know Rosberg versus Hamilton was also intense in 2016, but I was neither a Rosberg fan or a Lewis. I mean, I liked both of them, but I was a Red Bull fan, right? Red Bull weren't doing well in those years, so I wasn't necessarily enjoying Mercedes winning all the time. So even though that title fight was also close, I was just, yeah, it was whatever. Who would you pick, Lando or Oscar? I'll pick Oscar, I think. Is McLaren faster than Ferrari? It does look so, because um, I do think the Mercedes engine advantage and McLaren's way of like aerodynamics and things like that, I think they will be good. Yeah. This season's best battle, according to me, I think Ferraris are the only reason why the races are entertaining. The rest of it is all battery overtakes. So, yeah, it is what it is. Changing the regulations, they will announce it much more closer to the, like, I don't think it will come this week. If it comes, well and good. I think it will come next week or the week after. Do you think we can get another season like 2021? It will happen in 3 to 4 years. Why? I'll tell you exactly the logic behind this. Right now, teams aren't bunched up together. One team is very dominant and another team is 3 seconds behind, right? So, like last year, if you saw, the entire qualifying was less than a second. Like there was only 1 second difference between the first spot and the 20th spot, right? Once the bunch gets like narrow, once it gets all bunched up, then yes, obviously you will have a lot more tighter battle for the championship. And yes, we will get another season like 2021, possibly 100%. What do you think? Will it be Lewis's eighth? Lewis's eighth is not happening. Okay, if it happens, I'll be happy, but it is not happening. It is not happening. Is there a posse? I'm not even sure Max's fifth is happening. Okay, so yeah, is there a possible Ferrari is going to dominate in tracks like, because they are very good in corners? Very good question. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But um, uh, yeah, you're actually right. It's a possibility, but we've not had a track which had like such a long main straight, right? I think Monaco will be good for us to watch, because that will be the closest track which has a very small straight. We can see. Your logic will be right. Vigneshwar and Noob, hi, how are you? Why are you a noob? I don't think you're a noob. What are the expected changes for the next GB, bro? What changes? Regulation or car changes, or who's underrated? Pierre Gasly. I mentioned it in yesterday's video as well. The fact that man is putting an Alpine. I know the car is good, I think, but yeah, underrated is Pierre Gasly, because remember, his entire season with Red Bull and getting demoted to Alpha Tauri or Toro Rosso, and then they became Alpha Tauri. Yeah, he waited so long for the second driver's seat, did not get it, went to Alpine, and then now he's like, overtaking and staying ahead of Max Verstappen. So, yeah. Can Kimi win one World Drivers' Championship? I think he has a long way to go. He has at least 20 years in Formula One. Okay, he has 20 seasons left in Formula One, so I'm sure he can. With his talent and experience, uh, yeah, he will manage to get one. I think Oscar and Max will genuinely be a really good championship. Oscar, Max, and George fighting together will be like a good thing to watch. Hadjar does well in qualifying, but in race, I don't know why he struggled. See, last race, it was not his fault. Last race, it was purely the safety car that switched it up. But Hadjar, I think he'll do well. He'll do well. He's very self critical, but he'll do well. Kimi or Hadjar? I think Hadjar is a better overall driver. Kimi, I think, um, I don't know. It's too early to say. It's been just one season, but I think Hadjar I am slightly biased to because of Red Bull. But yeah, I'm noob for every game that I start to play. That's why that name. uh, School zones to avoid this regulation chaos. I don't know. Uh, uh, Zones where you're not supposed to uh, deploy power and things like that. Yeah, I think they'll have some. I'm not sure what they will do or how they will do it, but they will definitely uh, figure out something. Yeah. See, technically it is 55-45 right now. So 60-40 is not big a change. Uh, Hi, Rutik Srivatsan. Okay, I hope I said your name correctly. 65-35 is like more closer to what it should be. The problem was it was a drastic jump from 77-23 to 55-45. Yeah, the drastic jump was what caught everyone off guard. Yeah. Do you think Max can win the 24-hour and now he's part? Yeah, 100%. Last year also he won, right? As a Max fan, it's sad to see that Red Bull are now officially midfield team, but I'm happy that Max's son Kimi is winning. Yes. uh, it is good to see Kimi winning. Yeah. I feel like Leclerc was always on the fight for three or down. That's because of the car, or is it something else? Um, I think it's a combination of things. Ferrari don't have a bad car; they are just not as good as Mercedes. That's all. So yeah, that is one. Plus, Leclerc is he's a good race driver. His race pace has always been like really, really good. So yeah. I thought I'll share something personal today because this it is right here. As many of you know, I studied in uh, this college called Indian School of Business. Okay, I was in class of 19. Um, so this is our yearbook. Okay, this was our yearbook. Okay, so I thought I'll show you my page. I thought I'll show you all my page uh, and what I wrote in my things. Wait, let me see. Am I in the G and A N D R S O? Yes. Oh shit. Okay. I'll show you. Can you see Anderson Samuel? So 7 years ago, I did not have gray hair. I had proper black beard, and uh, nothing was gray. I was very young 7 years ago. Yeah, yeah. You know what was my quote? My quote that wait, yeah, it says, "Loving your friends is easy. Love your enemies." Yeah, just thought I'll share it. I'm getting very old. Look, look at my hair. It's all graying. It is thinning. Uh, I used to have such good hair. Uh, in COVID, I had like a phase of not cutting my hair, especially in the front, and I would use a razor to just trim it here myself. Okay, in the bathroom, I would just do it, and I had like nice big hair that I can do like a ponytail like this, and then my beard was all thick. And now look at the I'm just graying everywhere. Yeah. I feel like Vettel is the second most unlucky driver after Alonso. No, I think Vettel had a good run, man. He got to retire in his own terms, and he is still happy. So I don't think he started after Alonso and retired before Alonso. So he didn't have to suffer as much as Alonso. That is definitely for sure. See, uh, why love your enemy? Okay, if everybody loved only their friends, right? What is like there will be no solution to all the bad things in this world. To love your enemy, firstly you need to forgive them, right? Only then you can have empathy for them and then have any sort of affection for them, right? If you want to solve world's problems, forgiveness is important in life. If you don't forgive your people who have betrayed you or things like that, like if you don't forgive people who have harmed you, what happens is you hold a grudge, and that grudge grows, or it is always in the back of your mind and your heart, and it just makes the world a like a bad or place, like it makes the world a little more toxic. Now imagine everybody in the world only shares love with the people who they like, their family or their friends, and they don't forgive any of their enemies. What happens? The world just continues to grow more and more hatred, right? So, if you love your enemy, that is the first step in making this world a better place, right? It is a very difficult thing to follow, obviously, right? Because that's my thing. Like loving your friends is easy. They love you, you love them back, right? So that's very easy, right? Loving an enemy is very very difficult, right? That's when you have to like put yourself in their shoes and think like them. So yeah, like it's not just the gray hair. I'm very wise. I'm, spitting bars and wisdom. I've become Yoda. What happened to the Lego set you bought? I made the gifted Lego set already. The other Lego set is still sitting on top. I will make it one day. Yeah. When did you start to watch F1? I started in 2010. 2010, I started watching it because I was watching a TV series called Top Gear, and they were big fans of F1, and they kept talking about it. Hair thinning, yeah. I think Leclerc wasted his precious years in Ferrari. He should have left by 2023, but he is an insult. Yeah, you are right. Leclerc should have been in McLaren. I don't know. uh, See, not everyone wants to be in F1 because uh, there is a thing, right? Like, let us say Lamborghini aren't necessarily fast cars when compared to a Ferrari or a McLaren. Lamborghinis are always known to be the car that looks crazy, right? Like, that's the whole context of Lamborghini, right? So if you put them in the same racing series, you will find that one car is slightly better. So I think it's a branding thing, right? Not every car manufacturer wants to. And see, Porsche is owned by VW. Uh, VW also owns. Wait, I'll just confirm this. Yes, VW also owns Audi. So, in essence, um, Volkswagen Group has one of their brands in the sport, right? So, why do you have to cannibalize one brand by pitting another brand in the same racing series? You get what I mean? So Porsche, I think Porsche, Lambo, two examples you mentioned, right? So I'm thinking there is always going to be like cost, investment, and returns, right? Like if they are going to sell as many more cars because they enter F1, then it makes sense. But yeah, cool. I think we've been online for an hour and a half. So I think I'll take this time to wrap up and then we shall go to sleep. Tomorrow I will probably upload a reel, and day after tomorrow I will upload a YouTube video. So we shall, yeah, we shall catch up in the next couple of videos, and we shall uh, we shall meet again very soon on live and in the comment section, um, and we will catch up very soon. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time in the stream. It means a lot. Every comment, I hope I viewed and responded to every comment. Um, if I missed something, I'm genuinely sorry, but we will chat on Instagram. Okay. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. See you all. Take care. Bye bye.